Spain. What happens when a land that once thrived as a beacon of Islamic civilization sees its faith fade into the shadows only to rise again centuries later? Can history truly repeat itself, not through conquest, but through the quiet, steady resurgence of faith? This is the story of Spain, a land where the echoes of Al-Andalus still whisper through its cobblestone streets, and where Islam is experiencing a remarkable revival in the 21st century. But how did this happen? And what does it mean for the future of Spain? Spain, a country known for its flamenco dancers, bullfights, and vibrant festivals, holds a secret in its past, a golden era when it was the heart of Islamic civilization. From the 8th to the 15th century, Al-Andalus, as it was known, was a land where scholars, poets, and philosophers thrived. It was a time of unparalleled intellectual and cultural achievement, where Muslims, Christians, and Jews coexisted in relative harmony. But in 1492, the fall of Granada marked the end of Muslim rule in Spain. The Catholic monarchs Ferdinand and Isabella ushered in an era of religious intolerance, forcing Muslims and Jews to either convert, leave, or face persecution. Mosques were turned into churches, libraries were burned, and the rich Islamic heritage of Spain was nearly erased. For centuries, Islam seemed to vanish from the Iberian Peninsula, but history has a way of circling back. Today, Spain is witnessing a quiet but powerful revival of Islam, not through conquest or colonization but through the hearts and minds of its people. This is the story of how Islam is finding its way back to Spain, one convert at a time. The fall and rise of Islam in Spain. The year 1492 is etched in history as the year Columbus set sail for the New World. But in Spain, it marked the end of an era. The fall of Granada was a turning point, not just for Muslims, but for the entire fabric of Spanish society. The Inquisition that followed sought to erase any trace of Islam, forcing Muslims to abandon their faith or flee their homeland. For centuries, Islam in Spain was a hidden faith, practiced in secret by those who refused to let go of their heritage. But in the 20th century, something began to shift. As Spain opened its doors to immigrants from North Africa, the Muslim population began to grow. What started as a trickle soon became a wave, and by the 21st century, Islam was once again a visible presence in Spain. The modern revival. Today, Spain is home to over 2 million Muslims, many of whom are native Spaniards. The revival of Islam in Spain is not just about numbers, it's about a profound spiritual and cultural transformation. Mosques that were once small and hidden now stand proudly in cities like Madrid, Barcelona, and Granada. The call to prayer echoes through streets that once witnessed the glory of Al-Andalus. One of the most striking aspects of this revival is the growing number of Spanish converts to Islam. These are not immigrants, but native Spaniards who have chosen to embrace Islam. Their stories are as diverse as Spain itself, but they share a common thread, a search for meaning, purpose, and connection. Stories of conversion. Take Javier, for example. A philosophy professor from Madrid, Javier's journey to Islam began as an intellectual exercise. I wanted to understand Islam, to see what it was all about, he says. But the more I read, the more I realized that it wasn't just a religion. It was a way of life. It answered questions I didn't even know I had. Then there's Isabel, a former nun who left the Catholic Church after years of feeling spiritually empty. I tried everything, meditation, yoga, even other religions. But it wasn't until I discovered Islam that I felt truly at peace, she says. Today, Isabel wears the hijab and is an active member of her local mosque. These stories are not unique. Across Spain, people from all walks of life are embracing Islam. Some are drawn to its simplicity and clarity, others to its emphasis on social justice and community. For many, it's a way to reconnect with Spain's Islamic heritage, to reclaim a part of their history that was lost. The role of mosques and community. The revival of Islam in Spain is not happening in isolation. Mosques and Islamic centers play a crucial role in this transformation. They are not just places of worship but hubs of education, community, and cultural exchange. In Granada, the Great Mosque stands as a symbol of this revival. Built in the 21st century, it is a place where Muslims and non-Muslims alike come to learn about Islam. We want to show people that Islam is not a foreign religion, says Imam Abdul Karim. It is part of Spain's history and it can be part of its future. Challenges and controversies. But this revival is not without its challenges. As the Muslim population grows, so does the backlash. Islamophobic groups have become more vocal, and some media outlets continue to portray Islam in a negative light. For many converts, the biggest struggle comes from their own families, who often view their decision with suspicion or outright hostility. "My parents didn't understand," says Maria, a recent convert from Seville. "They thought I was rejecting my culture, my heritage, but I told them I'm not rejecting anything, I'm embracing a part of our history that was forgotten." Despite these challenges, the Muslim community in Spain is growing stronger. Halal restaurants are popping up in cities and towns, schools are beginning to accommodate Muslim students, and workplaces are becoming more inclusive. Even some churches are opening their doors to interfaith dialogue, recognizing that Islam is now a permanent part of Spain's cultural landscape. The revival of Islam in Spain raises important questions about identity, heritage, and the role of religion in modern society. What does it mean to be Spanish in the 21st century? And how can a country reconcile its past with its present? The growing presence of Islam in Spain has sparked debates about national identity and cultural heritage. Some view it as a threat to Spain's Catholic roots, while others see it as an opportunity to embrace a more inclusive and diverse society. The controversy over converting churches into mosques is just one example of the tensions that arise when history and modernity collide. But for many, the revival of Islam in Spain is not about replacing one faith with another. It's about reclaiming a part of Spain's history that was lost, and creating a future where different faiths can coexist in harmony. Its libraries housed vast collections of manuscripts, attracting scholars and students from across the Islamic world and Europe. These libraries were not just repositories of knowledge, but also centers of learning where scholars could engage in lively debates and discussions. The Great Mosque of Cordoba, a masterpiece of Islamic architecture, stood as a testament to the city's cultural sophistication. Its intricate designs and grand scale reflected the artistic and architectural prowess of the time. Beyond architecture, Al-Andalus excelled in various fields. Scholars in Al-Andalus were not confined to religious studies. They explored the natural world, conducted experiments, and made significant contributions to various scientific disciplines. Its scholars made significant contributions to mathematics, astronomy, medicine, and philosophy. They developed new mathematical theories, charted the stars, advanced medical knowledge, and engaged in philosophical debates that would influence future generations. The works of Averroes, an influential Islamic philosopher from Cordoba, would later shape European thought during the Renaissance. His commentaries on Aristotle were studied by scholars in medieval Europe, bridging the gap between the ancient and modern worlds. The legacy of Al-Andalus is not merely confined to academic achievements. It has left an enduring impact on the daily lives and cultural practices of modern Spain. It permeates Spanish culture, evident in its language, music, cuisine, and even its gardens. The rhythm of flamenco music, the flavors of Spanish dishes, and the design of lush gardens all bear the influence of Al-Andalus. The intricate geometric patterns adorning the Alhambra Palace in Granada, the melodious strains of Andalusian music, and the aromatic spices used in Spanish cooking all trace their roots back to this vibrant era. These elements continue to captivate and inspire people around the world. The golden age of Al-Andalus serves as a potent reminder of the immense contributions of Islamic civilization to Spain's cultural heritage. Its legacy is a testament to the power of knowledge, tolerance, and cultural exchange, and it continues to shape the identity of Spain to this day. The year 1492 etched a poignant chapter in the annals of Spain. The fall of Granada, the last Muslim stronghold in Al-Andalus, to the Catholic monarchs Ferdinand and Isabella, marked a turning point in Spanish history, ushering in an era of profound transformation. This event, while a triumph for the Spanish monarchy, cast a long shadow over the Muslim community, leading to centuries of persecution and cultural suppression. The fall of Granada signified the end of Islamic rule in Spain and the beginning of a new era marked by religious intolerance. The terms of surrender, initially promising religious freedom, were soon disregarded. Muslims were given a stark choice: convert to Christianity, face expulsion, or endure persecution. This marked the beginning of a systematic campaign to erase Islamic influence from Spanish society. Mosques were converted into churches, Arabic texts were burned, and Islamic practices were forbidden. The vibrant cultural tapestry woven over centuries began to unravel. The expulsion of Muslims and Jews from Spain in the following centuries further depleted the nation's cultural diversity and intellectual richness. The fall of Granada serves as a stark reminder of the human cost of religious intolerance and the fragility of cultural coexistence. It is a chapter in Spanish history that continues to evoke complex emotions and serves as a reminder of the importance of preserving cultural diversity and promoting religious freedom. The fall of Granada might have dimmed the light of Islam in Spain, but it failed to extinguish it entirely. The echoes of Islamic culture and faith continued to resonate through the centuries, even as the political landscape shifted dramatically. Despite facing centuries of persecution, Islam persevered. Its embers kept alive in the hearts and homes of those forced to practice their faith in secret. Families would gather in hidden rooms, whispering prayers that had been passed down through generations, ensuring that their spiritual heritage was not lost. This hidden legacy of Islam passed down through generations speaks volumes about the resilience of faith and the enduring connection to one's cultural roots. The Quran, often hidden away in the most secretive places, became a symbol of resistance and hope for many. In remote villages and mountainous regions, remnants of Islamic traditions survived, often disguised or blended with Christian practices. These areas became sanctuaries where the old ways could be preserved, albeit in a modified form that would not attract unwanted attention. These covert forms of Islamic observance, known as crypto-Islam, involved secret prayers, dietary restrictions, and the preservation of Islamic customs. Families would gather in the dead of night to perform rituals, cook traditional dishes, and teach their children the tenets of their faith. The descendants of Muslims who had outwardly converted to Christianity continued to carry the torch of their ancestral faith, albeit in the shadows. They found ways to incorporate Islamic elements into their daily lives, often in subtle ways that would go unnoticed by the authorities. The whispers of this hidden legacy can be found in unexpected places, in the architectural styles of certain regions, where Islamic arches and intricate designs still stand as silent witnesses to a bygone era. In the culinary traditions passed down through generations, the influence of Islamic culture is unmistakable. Dishes that were once prepared in the kitchens of Al-Andalus continue to be enjoyed, their recipes a blend of history and tradition. And even in the surnames of some Spanish families, the legacy of Islam endures. Names that have been carried through the centuries serve as a living testament to the enduring presence of Islamic culture in Spain. These subtle traces serve as a poignant reminder of the enduring presence of Islam in Spain, despite centuries of suppression. The artifacts and symbols that have survived tell a story of a culture that refused to be erased. The story of Islam in Spain is a story of resilience, revival, and renewal. It's a reminder that history is not static, but a living, breathing force that shapes our present and future. As Spain continues to navigate this new chapter in its history, one thing is clear: Islam is no longer a foreign religion in Spain. It is a part of its identity, its heritage, and its future. With that said, thanks for watching. And until next time, remember, history is not just about what happened. It's about what we choose to remember and what we choose to rebuild.